I was working right around the corner in an architecture firm, and you'd pass by this building and it was all bricked in, and then the windows that were there, they were broken because it was a crack den, and so people were just sleeping in here, shooting up. People were questioning, why are you opening a bike shop? My answer was, why not? I find that the bike is a universal thing. My name is Gregory Crichlow, and I own Chocolate Spokes Bike Studio in Denver, Colorado. When I was young, I fought everything. I fought and fought and fought, and I was just wasting time. I remember someone had called me a nigger in a hockey game, and my dad could see I was physically upset on the bench, and he was sitting in the stands. And he's like, well, did they physically hurt you? I was like, no. And he's like, are they stopping you from playing? I'm like, no. It's like, well, then you gotta carry on. You gotta keep going. This is not gonna be the last time that you're gonna hear this. And if you keep reacting like this, you're gonna lose a lot of time in your life. After I graduated high school, I took a year off and was lost. I bought, a pretty cost-effective bike, but it was a road bike with toe clips and all that kind of good stuff. And so I joined the CU cycling team when I eventually entered the university. The thing about that bike, it was almost like an equalizer, because when you went to campus, everybody had bikes. This bike was the bike that I knew that this is something I could really connect with, and that connection hasn't stopped since then. Five Points has had a pretty diverse history, I guess you would say. At the time of segregation, it was a very strong neighborhood, predominantly people of color. And then when segregation ended, a lot of people with more resources moved on, and the neighborhood just went downhill from there. And now people are rediscovering the infrastructure. I'm trying to be a part of 5 Points. I would have to admit I'm a dreamer. In the early time, it wasn't about opening a bike shop. It was like people were curious because they're like, well, there's this person that's investing in the neighborhood commercially. Early on, people were just, you'd buy a tube or a tire or whatever here and there just to say, okay, I see that you're here. And then, bikes came in as the spring came in, and then it just became crowded. And the first intent of it being selfish and in design and things of that nature was to design and make bikes, and that had to take a back seat. I had to figure out, what is keeping the doors open? What is keeping this kind of dream going? And when you come into the shop, we're into, fixing what you have and getting you on your way. I think as an experience from kids, it's about freedom. As soon as you get a bike, it's like your boundary expands a little bit because you can go further. And then as adults, it's about feeling like a kid again. Think about, you're always in a convertible. Everything is always flowing through your body. You hear the sounds, you smell the smells, you feel the temperature change. Your direction is just different, Unfortunately, the first bike I built for myself was stolen out of the front window of the shop. It was my bike that I had made for myself, paint job, everything was just complete custom about this bike. And what I would do is I'd leave it on the front window as signage. I was helping a customer inside the shop, and I just had this funny feeling, and I looked at the window and it was gone. And I called my wife, Cher, and I said, okay, my bike just got stolen, and what am I gonna do? And she's like, well, you have all the tools and the resources to make another one, so just make another one. My new bike will be a utility bike that shows the presence of a bike every day. I told the person the other day, and the question was, why would I buy a custom bike? And my answer was, you're not investing in a bike, you're investing in a relationship. Every bike is a challenge. It's a challenge of your skill set, it's a challenge of your creativity, it's a challenge of working with another in a personal space of, that they're making a big investment and you want to make that return everything they imagined it to be. When you hand it over and you see them take it for that first test ride, you're like, I've made that piece. And now it is moving, it is under somebody. They're actually using something that you've made at that point. you have that opportunity to transcend just beyond a bike shop. And that's what I really want to do. Because I think it's both good business-wise, and I think it's just good for your soul.